No matter how much you advertise, no matter how much advertising spend you have, no matter what new platforms that you're advertising on, remember, it is not your data, it is not your platform. You don't own the audience. And your business, and you cannot resell your products or services. You cannot have an ongoing communication with the customers if you don't own the data, if you don't own the customer. So, how do you own the customer? The first things that come to your mind may be have an email ID of the customer, but that just can only do so much. What if the person is not frequently checking his email? What if he doesn't like emails at all? What if he feels it annoying for you to send your follow-up emails? So how do you tackle this system? But one thing is for sure, everybody has a way that they communicate with people. Some of them are on emails, some of them are on WhatsApp, some of them are on Telegram, some of them have a strong browsing history, they browse a lot, and some of them respond better to videos. So when you have different people with different preferences, you not owning the platform can only make it worse because you just get one shot. You get them or you don't get them. If you don't get them, you lose them forever. So how do you deal with the situation? Because this is going to be the situation where marketing is evolving in 2023, and there are only three things you need in a CDC blueprint that I had mentioned before, where you own the customer and you take control of how to contact him, what to do with him, and have an open channel of communication with the customer. Let's look at what the CDC framework talks about. All right, so what you see on your screen is the CDC format where content, data, and community are three vital pillars of the new marketing ecosystem. When I say content, it means there has to be an ongoing effort to come up with content that reciprocates better with your user preferences. It can be video, it can be audio, it can be messages, it can be text, it can be blog posts, it can be email, anything that you can think of. Because until you don't have a way to communicate with the audience, you don't own the audience. And how do you understand which audience responds to what? You leave different channels open, communicate with the audiences, see who responds to what, group them into different buckets. Now let's say you have a group of audience who respond to different kinds of communication formats that you may have. Some people respond better to email, some people respond better to video, some people respond better to messages, let's say on WhatsApp or SMS messages. When you have these audience segments, let's call it segment 1, segment 2, and segment 3. Now have a system where you can find a way to message these guys on these respective platforms. Now, segment 1 only send emails to them. Segment 2 send videos to them or connect with them on videos. Segment 3 respond to them with messages on WhatsApp or any other channel that you may have. Now, this content becomes the most efficient tool you can communicate because you don't need to have anybody else in between. You don't need the support from any platform. You don't need to run ads constantly. You don't need to pay ads to get in touch with these guys anymore because you own them, because they're a part of your database now. Now, this is the first pillar which actually makes everything possible. Without a consistent content mechanism or content setup that you can come up with, you cannot have any communication because that's the only tool that you have to engage with your customers. Now, with platforms like ChatGPT and a lot of other AI tools, thank God, anybody can come up with content with just the slightest idea. You would want to come up with a blog post. You may want to come up with an Instagram post. You may want to come up with a Facebook post. You may want to come up with a LinkedIn post. You may want to come up with a video idea. Platforms like ChatGPT can do wonders for you. Once you have this tool ready, about to be launched and about to attack your customers in a good way, what do you do with that next? So what do you do with that next is you communicate and have an automated, consistent messaging system with the audience. That's number one. So that's exactly what content is supposed to be doing. The second thing is all the content that gets deployed to your audiences has to be captured somewhere. These audiences have to be a part of your community. Now, this community can be your Discord server. This community can be your Facebook group. It can be a WhatsApp group. If not anything, then you can have a Telegram group. Or you can add them to a separate database where you can call them your audience, give them a name and call them that, right? Build a community around it. How do you enhance this community? A community is not complete the moment you add them to a group. Having a group of people as a part of your Facebook group or WhatsApp group doesn't make it a community. What makes it a community? A community is called as a roaring community when they actually respond and engage. Have quizzes in place. Have offers in place. Run some let's say run some fun games, ask questions, have giveaways, because these small giveaways and the couple of hundreds of dollars that you're spending on these giveaways can actually come back to you in thousands and repeated business when you actually spent once and got the customer. So the first step that you need to have is have a content mechanism. The second step, or the end goal, is for you to have a community in place where you can sell, resell, engage, re-engage with these customers. Then why is it not CCD? Why it is CDC? Because between your content and between your community, from the point you start with your content to the point where you actually end up building a community, there has to be a bridge, there has to be something in between, which is data. So what data does is it tells you whether your content is performing or not. If your content is not performing better, if you're not getting those engagements, if you're not getting that reach, if you're not getting those immediate conversions or response rates, who tells you that it is not happening or it is happening? Data. With GA4, which is Google Analytics 4, data is going to be the center of anything that you do with marketing. That is going to be the single most important factor that guides your decisions. So in this framework called CDC, which is content, data, and community, you own the platform, you own the data. You're not dependent on any other platform. I'm not saying you should stop running ads. This is by no means am I saying that this is going to be the end of running ads and you're saving those marketing dollars. No. Always you run those ads to get new customers. Be on the prowl to finding new customers, but engage the ones that you already have. Use data to make decisions for you, and build a content mechanism around whatever you're doing, and nurture your community for making them your lifelong customers. That's exactly what this framework is talking about. So what I am proposing is we would be open to have a brief discussion with you and see if we can turn your business around with the paid campaigns that you're already running. We will do a free audit for you and engage as an extended team so that we can work together going forward. My name is Casey. I'm an ex-Googler and a digital marketer for about 15 years now. Please let me know if I can do anything to help you at all. Thank you so much. I would be more than happy to understand the challenges that you're facing currently and come up with solutions from whatever my experience has taught me. My name is Casey. Until next time, ciao.